Hello everyone and welcome back to our HEX Bash Top 8 coverage. We are ready to head into our first semi-final match here of Vazrael versus Sadystik. Again, it's another matchup that we haven't seen yet today. It's going to be Sapphire Wild Control versus Mono Blood. Let's head on down to the feature match area. So we take a peekaboo here at the Vazrael side of the table. You can see, one of the penalties of playing a dual shard deck. You have double Well of Instinct here. For those that are newer to Hex, the Well of Instinct is a dual shard, but it requires that you already have a threshold in order to gain a threshold. So don't mistakenly keep a hand like this, because neither of these will actually provide Vazrael with thresholds.
Yeah, not pretty over there. On Sadystik's side, it's pretty decent. There's a pair of shards, a Strangle. The Vampire Prince is probably one of the best cards in the matchup here, so see how that goes.
We saw Vampire Princess a little bit earlier today. This is a card that whenever it deals damage to the opponent, you get to look at a card at random in their hand, and if it's an action, you get to take that action away. So very good against these action-heavy, more controlling decks like what Vazrael is playing here.
So Sadystik did draw the third resource off the top here, which is pretty good.
We'll see an ice into the Thunderfield, so I assume here we're going to see a non-resource go to the top of the deck, hoping to prophesize onto an action and draw it next turn.
Looking like it.
Transmography, perfect.
Good draw.
Clean answer to something like Vampire Princess here. It'll be interesting to see whether or not Vazrael chooses to deny the Vampire Princess or whatever the play is out of Sadystik next turn, or just burn the Transmography. The deny is more resource efficient, but the Transmography allows them to get that draw from the prophesized action.
Yeah, and I think this is fine. My other reason to possibly Transmography is deny gets stuff like Zentos Malice.
Okay.
So it's really close. Doesn't matter. Doesn't really matter. Yeah, it just doesn't.
Just
and a weave.
Mono. Just choose resource efficiency every time.
Yeah, why not?
So, Vazrael mulligan once there, but it's looking like this game's shaping up pretty well for them.
Yeah, this is a close one.
The Withering Gaze on the other side of the table is actually a reason to use that Transmography sooner rather than later, too. The Withering Gaze can take a card out of Vazrael's hand, which can essentially deny them that prophecy, because you can take the Transmography away, and then that prophecy card you never got to draw a card with.
Yeah, the only problem here is that Vazrael's just going to run out of gas here pretty quickly, it looks like. So, well, I say that, and we just hit another deny off the top here. But Sadystik is really not under the gun and just
has plenty of time to just draw through and play through the game, basically.
Start hitting resources, and you're going to be in pretty good shape.
Interesting.
So now we chose to let it.
At this point, we chose to Transmography.
Prophesized one. William Rowan, nice.
I guess the appeal to using the Transmography at this point is you're using your Winter Moon power the following turn, and you get to put that prophesized card back into your deck, potentially triggering that prophecy yet again.
Certainly something.
Withering Gaze here met with the deny. The Withering Gaze is probably going to take the deny anyways. You might as well just not let them gain access to your hand.
No free information for you. That was interesting. We did not play. Oh, I guess we didn't have the third resource. Yeah, so now we're going to Bride out now. Yep. Ignore me. All right. Oh boy, oh boy. Frothing
Cackler. I mean, you want to get rid of the Bride of the Damned, right? And this lets you Winter Moon your 2 cards back in. So, and again, this is kind of the sometimes awkward part of the Winter Moon deck, is like this mid-late game where you've kind of sputtered out, but you haven't redrawn your Winter Moon cards yet. So, you're kind of falling behind on cards until you hit that critical mass and start snowballing.
Yeah, Vazrael's certainly under the gun here. I believe that Transmog was It was Winter. No, not that one.
Just a regular one.
So Vazrael's stuck just with a deny and a Transmography in hand, and Sadystik's going to hit the 5th charge here for Bloodspinner Zorath. And still 5 on board. I mean,
this 5 power is closing this game out. We had the banner, and Vazrael's going to be dead in 2 here.
Yeah, it's in pretty tough shape here for Vazrael. Shard not doing much.
And this Transmography is not exciting. Maybe you're going to have to re-Transmography.
That's so scary. It's so scary.
Because William Rowan is one of the higher power 2-drops, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, absolutely. So, and honestly, Sadystik has him covered with a Hero Fall and a Strangle in hand. If Vazrael's able to play some blockers out.
Yep.
He went for it, yeah. Pious Paladin.
We downgraded it 1 power, which, while it doesn't sound like a big deal, does buy us an entire extra turn.
You're not wrong. It sure does.
But we're just like waiting for that snowball to happen here.
Oh. Oh, that's going to be able to come on tap. There's going to be the hero fall.
Sadystik can hero fall during his ready step.
In the ready step, yeah. So it's going to be pretty good here.
Sadystik familiar with this trick. So again, the Windsinger draws a card when your opponent draws a card. So by stopping during their ready step, Sadystik was able to deny that extra card draw to Vazrael.
And I can't think of a single card that's going to get us out of this here because there's another hero fall in Sadystik's hand.
Yeah, it was going to have to be a series of draws. That's where it looks like Vazrael's going to go ahead and pack it in for a pretty quick and brutal game 1 there.
It was, yeah.
I guess that answered. And again, like, both of these decks are a little bit more controlling, and when you're playing like a pseudo control mirror, the question you always want to ask yourself is, who's the beatdown in this particular matchup? And I think the answer to that question looks like it's Sadystik.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, I'm not too optimistic for the second game because Winter Moon kind of did their thing, just wasn't really enough.
Yep.
It just wasn't enough in the end.
Well, let's head on down and see if Vazrael's going to be able to tie up this match to force a third game in the set. Vazrael is going to be on the play here again, and his hand's pretty reasonable.
Boy.
Got a couple of ice. Vazrael loves keeping these hands missing thresholds and running it off. Fate Leave is a very, very powerful mechanic.
Yeah, Vazrael's hand's pretty good. Pair Arcane Focus is trying to find what exactly you need.
Sadystik kept a very reasonable hand and then drew Withering Gaze on one.
Yeah,
so we are going to punch through this Zentos Malice and just keep the hits on coming.
Yeah, Sadystik's hand's very good, as you can see on the other side there. 3 more shards. The Zentos Malice is one of the better cards. Culmination of Blood, any hero fall, so can hang out for a while. And now Sadystik knows that the Zentos Malice is just going to go on the table unchecked here, so...
And now, something that's worth noting in this matchup as opposed to, say, the Diamond Sapphire control match is, remember, Pipit Hustler can hustle Constance.
Yes, which is a big deal. Very big deal here. So Sadystik does play the Malice, and right on time, like you said, Pipit Hustler appears.
Yep.
So looking okay for Vazrael. Blood
we need
Ice.
to play this Vampire Prince out here. You're like not excited. Oh, wow, we're holding. Okay, we're going to wait to Culmination in Blood, perhaps.
Huh.
Put some eggs in their deck?
Yeah, I thought we were putting eggs in is what we were going to do.
That's fair. Vazrael's not really pressuring your life total at all. If we picked up a Journey to Nowhere, which is another powerful constant that you kind of got to lean on Pipit Hustler to answer.
Yeah, this is pretty good hand.
The question here is, when this Hustler comes down at end of turn, do you jam 8 more eggs in their deck, or do you just hero fall the Pipit Hustler?
I'm pretty sure you're supposed to hero... Pipit Hustler's basically their best card against you besides Windsinger. I wouldn't... Well, I mean... Okay.
Yeah, Pipit Hustler is basically just straight up removal there.
Wow. Okay. Ignore me. Ignore me.
Manny's got no idea how this game works.
Ignore me.
Never played it before. So we see Vazrael immediately drawing 2 eggs out of their deck, which gives Sadystik these 1/1 unblockable spiders here. I like this attack. Can't block.
Oh, yeah.
Attack.
You might...
Sadystik's got their health total a little bit low here.
Yeah, you gotta go. That's for sure.
All right, you hit your 5th blood shard. Do you jam the hero fall, or do you play the Journey to Nowhere? I think I like this. I think you're low enough on life that you kind of need to be conservative.
Yeah, this is fine. You force them to answer the Vampire Prince.
Next turn could also be a Windsinger turn, potentially, so
that
the
is
hero
true.
fall up has value there as well.
Alright, well.
And again here, we see Culmination in Blood being exceedingly awkward.
Yeah, Culmination of Blood, I believe, is... Yeah, it's definitely still 10 here, which is... something. Okay, maybe I feel okay for Vazrael here. I'm not sure. It's going to be a close one, it feels like.
Yeah, I like Vazrael's read here on my opponent passed with 3 resources up. They very clearly have some kind of piece of removal.
Yeah.
I shouldn't just deploy my Windsinger into the face of this.
Yep.
No attack with the second Spiderling is interesting.
Looks like we're blocking.
We want to get in their trump blocks at this point. We're at 10, so this adds a turn to our clock.
Baby.
This Tranquil Seed Heart is good for 2 reasons. The first is that it can gobble up this Earth Mother.
Yeah.
The second is that it will bait a hero fall out of Sadystik, so this Windsinger could potentially take over the game.
Yeah. And Vazrael just has a Brown Fox on top, too, so pretty good. Yeah, we're slowly turning towards the culmination.
The Tranquil Seed Heart is unfortunately going to draw the Brown Fox Scout because it's prophesized. Oh, we're choosing to Scout instead.
Okay.
Fair.
Yeah, it gets the Earth Mother off the table.
I don't know that I love this line for the fact that I feel like playing the Tranquil Seed Heart would encourage a hero fall, and then your Windsinger's more likely to be potent.
We have quite a few troops in the bin now. We got to be getting close. This culmination's probably online this turn. It's almost certainly online this turn.
6.
Yeah.
Yep. That's pretty scary. Lanupo's Sight is reasonable insurance against culmination and blood, right? Like, it puts the draws on top of your deck.
Confounding Eye is a pretty good one to find.
Is probably one of the best draws in the deck there.
Yep.
Any of the 3 cost interrupts would have done 2 there, but an interrupt of some sort is definitely exactly what Vazrael was looking for to keep this culmination blood from emptying their hand out.
Let's see what this Transmog
Pretty Princess turns into Carnosaur. Still 2 power, but no longer threatening to take actions out of Vazrael's hand.
Alright. Journey into Nightmare.
I like baiting with the Journey.
Yep. Yeah, this is gonna be good.
Still costs 5. Okay.
It'll be 4. Yeah. Another Confounding Eye. Boy, is that good.
That's real good. Yep. And that's going to be pretty close to it here. We're going to put Sadystik down to 4 health here. Vazrael's still at a fairly healthy 13.
Yeah, this culmination's going to eat it. Another Journey. Okay, the Journey into Nightmare happens this time, but it's not really doing too much. The Spiderling was really big there, actually.
Yep.
Buys a turn for Sadystik. Sadystik here has a hero fall and this culmination of blood. This culmination... Oh, the culmination's going to be turned on here, I believe. Okay. So Vazrael going to go with the Confounding Eye on the hero fall here. So Vazrael's...
How do you feel about using the Confounding Eye versus the Halt there?
Yeah, so that's close. I think you're supposed to halt there. I don't know. That's close.
Halt's the more narrow answer, right?
Yeah.
That being said, kind of have an embarrassment of riches at this point.
Yeah.
The Windsinger's going to get to come into play here and kind of just like let you do your thing.
Just lots and lots of cards here for Vazrael at his disposal here.
If we find an interrupt, the game is over.
Pivot Hustler pretty good. Plus Sight also pretty good. And this Friend coming down. Yeah, Sadystik in pretty bad spot.
No extinctions to draw to you here for Sadystik.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Alright, and we're going to tie things up here. 1-1. Sapphire Wild Control versus Mono Blood Control.
Not bad.
That's actually a good question. Would you call this Mono Blood deck a control deck or a mid-range deck?
It's a control deck.
You think it's a control deck?
Yeah, I think cards like Vampire Princess are basically control cards at some point. It's a lot of hand disruption. It's mid-rangey, but it certainly goes over the top, and there's tons and tons of removal, so I think I would classify it as a control deck.
Okay, that makes sense to me. It's definitely the more aggressive deck in this matchup, but I think you're right, in general, in the format as a whole, it's probably one of the more controlling decks.
Yeah. Man, this is a really great hand from Sadystik, actually. It has 3 Blood Shards, Hero Fall, Strangle, Bride, and Vampire Prince. This is going to be a nice little curve.
Kind of a medium hand on Vazrael's side of the table. We've kept 5 resources, Brown Fox Scout, and Aborian Seed Heart, and we drew a resource on our first turn of the game.
Yeah.
Vampire Prince having nice upside of screwing with Fate Weave as he attacks on turn, because Vampire Prince buries the top card of their deck.
Yeah, nicely here, Vazrael drew a Transmogger Fedor. He was going to take quite a beating from this Vampire Prince for a little while.
Wow, no Transmogger Fate. Interesting.
Yeah,
and that gives... so when you bury the top card of their deck, if you bury a resource, you get to turn it into a Bloodstone, which is a blood shard that also gains you some life and loses them some life based on the number of vampires that you have.
Yeah, this is a crazy one here.
So, Vazrael, supremely punished for having not transmogrified this Vampire
Yeah.
Prince. We draw Landing Pause Sight for the turn that prophesizes us onto the top of your deck, and that's awkward with the Vampire Prince because the Vampire Prince is burying cards off the top of your deck.
Now we're stuck transmogrifating this Bride of the Damned, which I don't think is going to do a lot here.
Get in while the getting is good here. And
Oh, yeah.
again, we said these decks are both more controlling on the spectrum, but you're probably more on the beatdown if you're on Sadystik side of the table.
Yeah, Sadystik looking pretty stout here. The 5th resource in hand, a pair of Hero Falls, a Strangle, and a pair of Vampire Queens is going to be pretty scary for Vazrael to have to deal with. Vazrael's super shard heavy here, with 3 shards in hand, the Seed Heart and the Lanapause Sight, just with a Brown Fox Scout in play. Yeah, this is scary. Gets the
I like
Lanapause
this.
Sight
Go
in.
for the Gusto. The fact there's a Brown Fox on top of their deck lets them know that the Vampire Prince isn't going to take a Prophesized Stone this turn, so they've got that going for them. That being said, we're still just taking a hit for 4 here.
Yeah, I like it. I like this is great.
Making them have it here.
Yep. This is great from Sadystik. Properly reads that there's not a lot going on from Vazrael and just deploys a bunch to the board here.
It's pretty uncommon. Oh, we have a replay bug here.
Yeah.
There's actually a Transmogrified at the top of the deck, and then they drew Brown Fox out for the turn.
Okay.
Small mishap from Vazrael here. They probably forgot to set a stop during their ready step, and when this Brown Fox Scout flipped over, they could have played this from the top of their deck before their draw step, and then this would have drawn this, and then they would have drawn another card for the turn, and then they could have played this and drawn yet another card. I think they still would have been pretty far behind here, but they would have dug a lot deeper into their deck if they had that stop.
Yeah, this 4 power worth of flight troops is pretty daunting here for Vazrael to have to deal with. Especially because Sadystik just has a pair of Hero Falls just to take over to anything that gets deployed.
Oh, and we're choosing to
Baby.
a Borean Seed Heart this turn.
Yeah,
and this Hero Fall is just going to be super punishing.
Yeah,
for
supremely getting punished here. This is not a great look.
Huh.
Brown Fox Scout, okay.
And you've heard me say this a couple of times, so don't be afraid to play your quick cards on your turn, especially if they're going to do something to advance your game plan a little bit. This Brown Fox Scout could have drawn a card on Vazrael's turn, and then Vazrael could have played that Prophesy Sapphire Shard and drawn another card this turn, potentially, finding a deny for this Vampire Queen.
Yeah, now we're in big trouble.
There was a deny.
Look at that. Look at that.
Oh, I think the writing is on the wall here for Vazrael. Not going to be able to beat through this Vampire Queen, and we see Sadystik on Mono Blood advancing to the finals of our bash. Congrats and condolences to Vazrael on your top 4 finish, and hopefully we'll see you back next week. And for the rest of you, we'll be back in just a moment with our second semifinal and then eventually our finals. Don't go anywhere. Thanks for watching this week.